It's in the game. Hello and welcome on in to this Monday night's edition of Entertainment News here at MBE. We'd just like to thank you once again for joining us here on our YouTube channel, our Twitch stream, and of course our Spotify podcast if you're listening in, which isn't live. You'll get that when I feel like it. Just whenever it goes up. What I've got to do is I've got to isolate the sound, John, then upload it. You'll know all that when we used to do the old SoundCloud days. Do you remember that?
God, yes, I remember. It was a website for up-and-coming electronic artists.
Yeah.
And we were putting podcasts on about
box office
and
movie reviews from other people that we didn't watch. Yeah. That was a hard task.
It
back
was
in
hard.
the day. Trying to talk about films we never saw.
Stephen, how far across are you?
Yeah, I know. Here we go. Right.
But
Is that better?
About films we never.
No. Yeah, I know. So anyway, folks. Good start, Stephen.
They'll not see that on Spotify. So that's fine.
Well, this is the thing, isn't it? We're just adjusting our seats, guys, for everyone listening in on Spotify. John, the sound quality's good though. I've listened to it.
I
talk about obviously, doing your old what is it you call that? Vanity searches.
Yes.
Sometimes you've got to do it just for quality control, and I do hope people can hear what we're saying right
remarkable.
now. I can't even check because I can't get online. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure they can because I've got the two tracks. It's remarkable what a parametric equaliser can do when you times it by 3, put a noise gate in, and then do some compression. It's actually incredible.
I've got to say though, John, I was impressed with your show from Thursday night. The second sort of attempt at it, because I think I would have called it a night. I don't think I'd have had the energy to do that again.
It's happened to me
you
twice.
Must have been, I don't know how long you were doing it for, 10, 15 minutes
20 minutes, yeah.
20 minutes,
but it was about 15.
And I thought, fair play. You're getting in there and doing it again. With
I
the
was
same
really
energy.
up for speaking about, what was it I spoke about again? Reviews for the Marvels.
But I mean,
really
GTA obviously as well.
Yeah, I started with GTA,
I think that was a good move. I noticed
refreshed
that you sort of mixed it up, and I think that was probably the best thing to do. But we've got 3 topics in mind to talk about. We're going to be talking about Tiger 3, Salman Khan's Tiger 3. We're going to be talking about the Marvels and its performance in China, and Chris Pratt
performance everywhere
with another voice work in an animated film. Garfield, can't believe it. Love Garfield. So we'll talk about all that. When we get to it, but we're going to talk about Salman Khan's Tiger 3, John.
Holy fuck!
Yeah, I mean,
do you
know something? I don't. We'll get into the MCU thing as well, just as a whole as well, John, because
it's over.
It's over. It's over.
It's over.
Ain't nothing over till it's over.
It's over, Stephen. I'm telling you right now, Jonathan Majors' baggage surrounding him. People are talking already about recasting him. I'm like, what the fuck? He's been in 2 movies and a TV show.
Yeah. And it's just been interspersed. So it's not even a lot.
Let's bring in Denzel and say he's like this old embittered version who's separated.
Yeah.
What? No.
That's just Fantastic Beasts all over us.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is, Stephen. Controversy hits. The studio goes in for damage control and recasts. Mads Mikkelsen comes in for Johnny Depp. And strange. Really weird. Yeah. Didn't even try to
Willy Wonka.
Oh, what Johnny Wanker.
Anyway.
I love Johnny. I have to stress I'm wearing his cologne today.
Yeah.
Not his cologne, Dior Sauvage that he wears, apparently. Probably doesn't. Probably doesn't wear anything. Probably smells of sweat. Let's be honest.
Wine
and sweat.
Cigarettes
and alcohol. I think Johnny definitely wears cologne.
Yeah.
You can just tell when someone does.
Cigarettes and alcohol.
Yeah, absolutely. Disappointed with the strength of it, but that's another conversation.
Just talking about Johnny Depp quickly, John, I actually saw a video the other day. I think it was a podcast he was on with the late I'm blanking on his name, the guitarist.
Jeff Beck.
Yeah.
I know who you were talking about,
and
Steve.
Johnny was all clean shaven. He just looked like a potato. It just looked weird. I was like,
he's one of those guys that looks younger with a beard.
Yeah, like Keanu. Yeah,
weird, you shave Keanu and he fucking ages 20 years.
It's strange.
It's supposed to be the other way around.
It's weird.
When
I've got facial hair, I look older. It's just weird.
So do I look 40. And when I shave it, I still look 40. Some might say.
But anyway, John.
No, I get ID'd for beer a couple of weeks back.
Yeah.
Which means someone
never happened
had
to me. Even when I was 16, that never happened to me.
means someone had reasonable
Yeah.
grounds to suspect I was under the age of 25. And if you look under 25, you could be under 18.
Yeah.
And that's fucking crazy. But
Major
they
day,
did
though.
it. But I didn't know Stephen because I wanted the beer.
Did you
and
get
I had,
it?
No, I got it. I just
yeah.
took my hat
Yeah.
off and says, look, do I look as though I'm under 25? Come on to fuck. No, fair play.
Okay.
I'm like, thank you. And I got
John,
my beer.
Tiger 3 gears up for huge box office surge. And this is coming in from movieburnerentertainment.org.
Oh!
The writer is Jonathan Christopher Walsh. Yeah, it's here. John, I'm going to just read some
me,
facts
myself, and I.
and
Me,
figures
me,
here.
mine.
Because we do have a website, folks, and we might as well utilise it. We're going on to Screen Rant, we're going on to Empire and all the other ones. You're reading off theirs and promoting their websites. Why not promote our own for a little change?
Yes.
But yeah, this is coming in, John, and I'm just going to read. I'm going to read the facts and figures. That is box office news, and this, you need that in front of you when it comes to this. But pardon me if I mispronounce anything in terms of film names or actors from India. But after a blockbuster start, it's time for Tiger 3 to explode. Good line, John. The latest Salman Khan action film is set to record a massive day 2 box office number and set new benchmarks according to the trends. Tiger 3 is likely to net more than 80 crore at the Indian box office in 2 days. Industry tracker Sacknilk reported that by 7:45 p.m. on Monday, that's happened now, it's gone.
Yep.
Tiger 3 has already done a business of nearly 42.78 crore. The 2-day total till 8 p.m. on Monday stands at 87.28 crore. Tiger 3 on Monday will aim to place itself in the top 5 bracket of highest single day net collections by a Bollywood film. The top 3 spots are currently held by Shah Rukh Khan's Jawan at 81 crore on Sunday, 75 crore all Indian opening, and 72 crore on Saturday. The 4th and 5th spots belong to Shah Rukh Khan's Pathan at 70 crore on Republic Day holiday and 60.75 crore on Sunday. If Tiger 3 continues to trend at the momentum, trade experts the film to put a 2-day total of anywhere between 80 to 90 crore. Trade estimates for the latest Spy Universe film for the 3-day total are in the north of 165 crore, which it can very well achieve despite mixed word of mouth. At the worldwide box office, Tiger 3 recorded a total of 94 crore on day 1, which included paid previews that the Yash Raj films had kept in select overseas territories on Saturday, while the overseas numbers will see a decline from Monday as they are best during the weekend. The film will more or less make up for it, putting in huge domestic numbers. The third instalment of the hugely successful franchise, Tiger 3, also stars Katrina Kaif and sees Imran Hashmi as an antagonist. The actioner is part of Yash Raj film Spy Universe, which also features Hrithik Roshan's war and superstar,
Or as I called him back in the day, horrific.
Shah Rukh Khan's Pathan. So there you go, John. It's
Clown
doing,
that I am.
it's doing not too bad, is it?
It's doing fantastic, Steve. And I'm just once again, as I always do, when we discuss box office in regards to Indian films, trying to convert crore to dollar. And I know 1 crore equals 10 million, so 90 crore equals 900 million. And I know that can't be right. It just can't. The conversion factor for crore to million is 1 crore equals 10 million. They've says it's grossed 90 crore, 80 to 90 crore across 2 days. It's not grossed a billion in 2 days. But that'll be $1 billion rupees. I think. $1 billion rupees. So we can then take that information, and I will take that information. I'll try and take that information. Rupees, $2, and then we will see.
I think
just
maybe that's something we can do if we're going to be reading off our own websites.
Yeah.
Maybe put that conversion in just to sort of simplify it for
12
you,
million.
John. Yeah,
$12 million.
yeah.
2 days. Not bad.
That's
Not
okay,
bad
is
at
it?
all.
Yeah.
And I presume this is obviously I mean, we're going to compare, Stephen, just now.
Yeah, the other films,
The
yeah.
actual films, but I'm
Tiger
presuming
films, yeah.
that is. I mean, we're looking at the original one. That's very fucking good. So, Stephen, look, we discussed this before we come on as well. The growth worldwide of Indian cinema.
Yeah.
It really is going from strength to strength on a worldwide arena, if you'd like. I'm sure they were always doing fantastic in India, these films. Salman Khan's an enormous superstar over on the subcontinent. The likes of Amir Khan, Shah Rukh Khan, huge figures on the subcontinent. Shah Rukh is obviously, he has transcended that. He's a worldwide sensation, if you like. But we've seen it with Triple R making that jump over to Western Spheres.
Mm-hmm.
SS Rajamouli getting a production, or not a production, an agency, an agent. He signed up with an agency over in Hollywood. We're starting to get some real traction here for big Indian directors, big Indian actors, worldwide. People are respecting the films.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying they didn't before, but I'm talking about in comparison to 2012, Egg the Tiger. So you're seeing that growth, you're seeing that trajectory, if I can say it properly. Lord knows I've had one of those fucking days again, dry mouth, striking with a vengeance. It's like that, man. It's getting up exponential, the earnings of these films. You see here, Tigers in the High came out 2017. What's that, 7 years ago? 6 years ago?
6 years ago, yeah.
6 years ago. And it grossed 87. Well, bring this up just now. Bring up Joe Webb. It grossed 87 million worldwide. This has grossed 12 million in 2 days. So
yeah,
speaks for itself, doesn't it? Really? The budget's 20 million, so it's all really comparative. It's obviously made a massive profit. It's nearly quadrupled. It has quadrupled, nearly quintupled its budget. That's huge success, Stephen. Doesn't surprise me ultimately. It's Salman Khan.
Yeah.
What can you say? The guy is an absolute bona fide fucking action superstar. He's been doing his thing with this franchise for a long time now. He's had cameos in the likes of Joanne. People know, they trust this guy when it comes to these kind of films. He's going to bring his A game. And obviously the promotion, Stephen, we've been aware, we've been switched on to it. We've watched the trailer and we watched the teaser. It looked fucking epic.
I think at some point
and
we're
it's
going
got
to watch
some
this
running.
trilogy, John, as watch-alongs.
I was going to say that there.
Especially the first two, because they're older. I think we'll be able to get away with doing a watch-along for older films. But, John, trilogies as a whole, they either go one way or the other, as you know. Sometimes they hit the ground running, and then perhaps maybe the sequels are ever diminishing returns. The Matrix, for a start, when it was a trilogy, was very much like that in terms of performance. Maybe not in box office. It probably actually performed better just with anticipation and the continuing story of that world. But in terms of quality of storytelling, it suffered, certainly did. But it can sometimes have a box office negative as well. With every film that's released. Doesn't seem the case, obviously, with Tiger. It seems to just get better and better.
Yeah.
I think that's down to, obviously, the acting. I think it's down to, obviously, the inbuilt universe as well. I think it's very important that studios have caught on to this, and India has been doing it just as long as Kevin Feige's been doing it. If you can build your universe, then you're guaranteed to get bums on seats to an extent. Loyal fans, we'll obviously talk about the MCU, how it's doing in a moment. But
people connect with the character, they connect with the story, and then in this movie, it looks as though there's a real familial element to it.
Yeah,
where he's getting brought back into it. From what I'm taking from the trailers, he's got the family connection there. It's almost like what we've seen. I'm blanking on his name, the Manoj Bajpayee character. I do this all the time in The Family Man, Shrikant Tiwari.
Yeah,
where you're caught between two parts of your life, personal, home life and professional.
Yeah.
Taking these people on almost like a fucking commando figure. And also that real calling to home, want to protect what's yours.
Yeah.
And he's getting called out, isn't he? They're almost saying he's like a traitor.
Well, I remember watching the trailer, John. I think it said something, this is personal. I think it was. This is really a personal vengeance story. I know you'll have to watch the, obviously, something attacked me there. We'll have to obviously watch the first two movies to really understand and really connect with the character a little bit more. Obviously,
you've seen him in Joanne,
I was going to say Patan, Joanne. And I liked what I saw. I really did like what I saw. I think it was Patan, John. I think
I'm
it's
Joanne in the brain.
Joanne's the one that we're going to be watching.
Yeah, I'm Joanne in the brain.
It is on Netflix now, finally. So we'll be able to hopefully do a watch along.
I think we can do that.
Or a review, whatever way you want to do it.
I think we can do a watch along quite easily on that, Stephen. It'll be 5 parts and it will be cut down compared to what normal watch alongs have been in bygone eras.
Yeah.
But we'll get it out. It should be doable. It's on Netflix. Netflix are usually sound.
I think
we shouldn't have a little fat middleman.
Versions as well, obviously.
Yeah, it's an extended edition, Stephen, which is good because you're getting the full story. It's almost the director's vision for the character as well. I want to see more Shah Rukh movie, so I'm well up for watching
I
Joanne.
want to see more Salman as well.
Yeah, exactly, Stephen. But Telepathy's in that movie too, so I'm buzzing to see his cameo.
Yeah.
And obviously VG Sepapathy's in it as well. So there's a whole array of actors in that movie that
isn't it? Yeah.
really looking forward to seeing, and just getting on that train, that Shah Rukh train. And you're right, Stephen, Salman. I think it would be foolish for us to go and watch the third instalment of a trilogy without not having seen the first two. That would be a really stupid thing. We wouldn't have a fucking clue what's going on with the story. We would not be connected to the characters.
I think we would. You
would get it, Steve. You could watch it.
Emotionally, you wouldn't be connected as much as if you really invested time in the first two films.
Stephen, it was like me. It was the dragon film, animated dragon film. I'm blanking on it. It had Jay Baruchel in it. I went and watched the previous two films because I knew I liked the look of it.
Yeah.
And I went and back and watched the first two films before I then went and watched the third film. And I'm glad I did it because it really did elevate the experience. You were then connecting with all the characters, all the little plot details. There was little Easter egg references that went over my head if I'd only watched the third instalment. So I would recommend that if we were going to watch the third instalment, we go back and watch them. Yeah. Getting back to the main point of the actual article though, Stephen, it's gearing up for a record-breaking day 2 box office, singular sort of take in a box office. If the projections are right from Sacknil, I can't even say it, can write it, but you can't say this shit. It's going back to George Lucas again. Sorry, George Harrison. You got nothing to do with Sacknil or indeed Star Wars plots, although I'm sure you'd love to have been in it. But if you look at the numbers, if the projections are right, Stephen, for a 3-day take, and by all accounts, where are we? 165 rupees crore through 3 days. And if the 2-day crore grossing is 80-90, then that's a 75-80 crore single day take for day 3. So it's geared up. It's up 75-80 crore in 1 day. You look at the numbers for the current record holders. Jawan has the top 3, 81 crore on the Sunday, 75 on one day at opening, 72 crore on the Saturday. It would put it right up there as being record breaking in a single sort of day box office take. If it gets to that $75-80 million, it wouldn't be. I mean, it probably would have to do a little bit more than that. It'd have to beat Jawan's 81 crore, but it's getting close.
It is, yeah.
So fair play to Salman. He's seen Shah Rukh's success this year. Not 1 but 2 movies, and he's jealous, and he's like, fuck you, bitch, in the best possible way. I want some of that good sort of monetary goodness for myself.
Healthy competition, and the studio's the winner at the end of the day.
It is, Stephen. Yeah. But what, man, I'm glad for him, Stephen. We've done a lot of reactions. I've seen, I'm not going to sit here and say I know everything about Salman Khan, because I don't. We're learning all the time with the Indian actors and Indian films. But I did see remarks about him. He's just this action guy. He's not that great an actor, yada yada. From the haters, we've seen it with Telepathy, the tax stuff. Yeah. He's this, he's that. We've seen it with Horrific Roshan. I've done it again, Hrithik. He can't dance or something like that. We've seen the little fucking losers wading in and attacking these guys. But ultimately, when you look at these guys from India, comparative to their Western sort of compatriots, if you like, actors, they're on a different level, Stephen, in terms of all-round performing. They can act, they can dance, they can sing, they can do it all.
Yeah.
There's about 3-4 actors in the West who can do that. Hugh Jackman, Taron Egerton, I'm sure there's more than that. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and I'm sure there's someone else I'm missing out.
Ryan Gosling,
who can sing, dance and act.
Yeah.
They're an all-round performer. Every single actor who's worth anything in India can sing, dance and act. I was about to say S.S. Rajmula, NTR Jr., Ram Charan, Telepathy. I was about to say Ranjinikamp, but he certainly can't fucking dance. We've seen that. We've seen the Steve, not all-round performers.
Yeah. So
I can't be anything but happy for Salman, even though I don't know him personally, even though I've not seen the vast majority of his films. I've only seen a cameo in Jawan, Patan. Obsessed with Jawan. And Patan, that film that we had done a reaction to, that one. And from that, Stephen, I can't really, wish him anything other than fucking all the best I could possibly conjure up.
Yeah.
Because he's working his balls off, blood, sweat and tears. It's a trilogy. I hope it's fucking good and we can go back and watch it. And hopefully it makes all the money.
I think we will. I think, John, at some point, I think perhaps maybe after we watch Jawan, I think we should maybe get back and watch the first 2 Tiger films.
Yeah.
And do either watch along or reviews,
I
whatever.
mean, we reacted to the trailers.
Whatever way you want to. Yeah, exactly. That was
I remember
some of
them.
the first trailers we reacted to as well. And they just stay with you, don't they?
They do.
I mean, I think we've done over 700 trailer reactions. I think so. I checked it the other day.
Wow, they're on the
And there was
playlist.
a lot of content in there. And those two films do stand out just because they're memorable.
You know what else stands out? Bye, comfort, Malau. That one.
Yeah.
Hello, Arjun, I think it was.
There was another one. It was a strange one we reacted to. And it was,
Is it a dead one?
It was no,
There's
been some real crackers that we should have maybe have put out just for a laugh. But there was that one. Was it a
Big Daddy of all?
It was a drone or something like that. Remember the
the
killer
killer drone one.
Yeah.
Yep, I think I put a scantily clad woman on the thumbnail to try and get clicks. Didn't work.
Didn't work.
It didn't work.
Well,
Thumbnails were dreadful back then.
Yeah.
And you know what else was dreadful back then? The logos for everything. We had logos for names. We had logos for fucking subparts of shows. We had logos for reactions. Trouble is, we just put a reaction. I say we, there's no we and I. I just put reaction into movie burner news. It made no fucking sense. Movie burner reaction news. Dreadful.
I was killing myself.
Absolute fucking clown show back in the day.
It was the height thing as well. We were away down here.
Yeah, we were way down. And Stephen, we'd swap seats.
Yeah.
Stephen, there was like
Why?
one seat was the presenting seat, and you had to sit there if you were wanting to present the show. Trouble is, the seat was lower than the other. Stephen's 6 foot, and he was like fucking Peter Dinklage next to me.
What did it matter?
We were changing clothes.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll readily admit this.
Yeah.
We were doing pre-recordings for multiple shows, and we'd take different sort of t-shirts and hats and change it to make it look as though it was on a different day.
Yeah, I know.
Fucking clowns.
Absolutely.
Absolute clowns. And that's before you even get into the editing.
Yeah. It was.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's like a fucking pyramid of tracks.
A jigsaw puzzle.
Have a clue. It was a jigsaw puzzle.
Try and piece it together.
Me constantly bringing up liar, liar and stuff like that.
We would record on a Sunday night and it'd go out on the Wednesday. So it was like 3 days worth of editing for a 1 hour show. Crazy.
Fucking cutouts galore. 60 million Sergeant Pepper style cutouts on the thumbnail. And when it was all said and done, too scared to show our faces. Some might say we should go back to doing audio only shows. So it was essentially a fake Sony TV
With
on a fake
brick wall.
Yeah. Fucking ridiculous.
Not that one.
Ridiculous.
It was all AI before AI was a thing.
And then when we did go in front of a camera, we had a fake brick wall then with a gap in it because we had to cut it.
Velcro.
Velcroed onto the wall.
A wall velcroed onto a wall.
Fucking joke. Absolute
carpet on top of a carpet.
Carpet on top of a carpet. Well, we've got that in a sense with the dog as well, to be fair. No wonder I'm always fucking sneezing. It's like fucking Kashyyyk in here. But yeah, it really is. Look at that. Wow. Kashyyyk meets Indiana Jones, huh? I've got a ginger dog and I decided to get black furniture.
Yeah.
What an incredibly smart decision.
That was like me. I had a black carpet with ginger cats.
Yep. Fucking
not a good idea.
A daisy.
And you had a cream carpet with black cats.
We did, yeah. Makes no sense. A cream carpet makes no sense, period, ever. But I digress. Yeah. It's geared up, Stephen. Huge box office surge. Productions are saying that it has indeed accomplished said huge box office surge. 80 to 85 crores. Single day, day 3. 160 odd crores. You compare it to the other movies, it's doing very, very well indeed, Stephen. That would take it up to circa 20 to 24 million pounds, dollars, I should say, through 3 days. It's already beat the worldwide takes for Ek the Tiger, and it's well on course to matching, if not blowing Tigers in the high out the water. So, whilst we normally talk about trilogies having ever diminishing returns, this one's got ever increasing returns, if you'd like. It's grown and grown and grown. And as I did say, without retracing, it just seems like Indian cinema, Indian TV is exploding. It's went beyond the singularity now in terms of worldwide audience.
Yeah.
People are receptive to it. I don't want to just say it's all SS Rajamouli Triple R. There's been some amazing TV we've watched that deserves every bit as many views as likes of Squid Games and My Name and the great K-dramas we've watched. They're high caliber TV, Family Man, Sacred Games. Top of Head, Panchayat, Scam 1992, Harsh I've Met Story, Quota Factory. Yeah. There's been absolutely top tier Indian TV shows that are on Netflix, that are on Amazon Prime. They deserve the views.
They do.
I'm glad to see that this is maybe symptomatic of people finally switching on to Indian cinema and watching it.
Yeah, fingers crossed. I think that's John. That's the trajectory, isn't it? It's only going to keep getting bigger and bigger out with India. So bring it on.
Not that they need it.
They don't need it. They don't need her approval or anything like that.
They've got their own industries, their own population that absolutely love it.
But we benefit from this great quality.
This is people can come in and attack the channel, and we get it all the time. It's for clicks, it's for this. Guys don't really care. I've been watching foreign language films since I was fucking a tiny little guy.
Yeah, John,
I love foreign language films.
Offset that argument with links to all the videos and discussions, the breakdowns, the analyses that we do. We wouldn't be doing all that if we would just rattle out reactions all the time if we wanted to do that, And
you know what else I can do? I can just point them to my ancestry report and tell them, look, I've got a great grandmother from Tamil Nadu, so you can go and fuck yourself.
I think
because I've got direct ancestral links to India.
Yeah.
So there you go. I'm entitled to have an interest in the country.
We're going to move on,
and
John.
Indeed, I had such an interest in the country tonight. I had Parafa wraps again.
Oh, sounds good.
And they were absolutely fucking incredible. And you know what else I had, Steve? Parafa box, best chips on the planet. Outside of Five Guys, I had to put that in there. Mango Lassie, the drink.
Yeah. Divine.
So help me God. Unbelievable.
John, the Marvels is suffering. According to your report.
Oh, it's suffering all right, yeah.
Yep. On the website.
Yep, you can't see.
I can't see. Thanks. That was a great shot of Brie Larson you got there. She looks a little bit...
She looks depressed.
She looks a bit robotic.
Some might say she deserves to be depressed.
But it's a most read story at the moment,
I'm slightly disappointed about this.
It is our most read story on our website. If you want to visit the website, folks, at movieburnerentertainment.org, which is great. The Marvels suffer historic box office lows in North America and China, raising alarms on superhero fatigue amongst audiences. Now, that's debatable, but we'll get into that in a moment, John. So I'm just going to read your facts and figures on this, just similar to what we did, obviously, with Tiger 3, with the box office information. So the lacklustre debut of the Marvels at the North American box office, merely grossing $47 million, a record low for a Marvel studio release, has deepened analysis concerns regarding superhero fatigue. A growing issue for major studios, the film faced a parallel disappointment in China, where audiences have long overlooked American superhero tales. The Marvels opened to a mere $11.5 million in China, trailing behind the local crime thriller Who's the Suspect, which raked in $11.7 million over the weekend, extending to $11.8 million with Thursday night previews, as per Artisan Gateway's data. The trend of underperformance of the MCU releases in China date back to the pandemic period. However, the Marvel stands out as a significant stumble. For instance, Captain Marvel, helmed by Brie Larson, began its run in 2019 with a robust $89.3 million opening and ultimately secured a solid $154 million in China. In contrast, projections indicate that the Marvels may struggle to surpass $20 million in total earnings. This decline in MCU's success extends to other 2023 releases in China. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 by James Gunn, despite achieving a commendable $359 million in North America, only managed $27.8 million in China. Similarly, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania saw a substantial drop to $39.4 million compared to its predecessor, $121 million. In 2018, the overall trend of fading US studio franchises in China affects superhero films more severely than other action genres, while other genres like the Fast series and Transformers continue to draw substantial audiences. Their more recent installments have shown a decline compared to earlier releases in China. Contrastingly, original productions such as Oppenheimer and Barbie have fared notably better. Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer earned $62 million, marking a substantial success for an extended English language historical drama in China. Meanwhile, Barbie, despite a slow start due to a lack of familiarity in the market, saw a considerable uplift to $35.2 million primarily due to positive word of mouth among cosmopolitan Chinese women. Wow, John, that's very detailed. You do your research. In this landscape, local productions like Who's the Suspect, directed by Zhang Mo and produced by Beijing
Chinese
Dino Films, have notably excelled. The film starring Zhang Ziofei tells a story of a lawyer compelled to defend a death row suspect after her daughter is kidnapped. Chinese ticketing app My Own forecasts a substantial run for the film, approximately a total of about $71 million. This complex scenario in China signifies a changing shift in audiences' preferences, where local and original productions, along with certain established international franchises, seem to resonate more effectively than recent superhero releases. John, now they can pin this on the pandemic all they want. I think it's all to do with timing as well, and timing of certain characters and actors checking out of the MCU at the same time. Obviously a saga concluding and then having to rebuild on that as well. But those figures, when you look at the original Ant-Man film in comparison to the latest one, the latest the original Captain Marvel film in comparison to the sequel, it's such a massive drop off, isn't it?
That is like the trash compactor, Star Wars A New Hope, or the fucking animal that hand kills. Oh, he doesn't kill, he cuts it open after it drops dead in the off. I thought they smelled bad on the outside. That's my dog. Yeah, Stephen, this has nothing to do with the pandemic. It just isn't. Initially, it could have been a drag in terms of performances getting back to where they were pre-pandemic. In China, it's always been an issue, Stephen. The movies have never performed. These sort of smaller sub-franchise movies. And look, as much as you want to bum Captain Marvel up, she is a smaller sub-franchise movie. She ain't Captain America. She's not Thor. She's not Hulk. She's not Iron Man. She just isn't. She's not Spider-Man. Nowhere fucking near it. No other Marvel character is anywhere near Spider-Man.
Hey,
Spider-Man is up here, and the rest are all the way down there. What's that?
Hey, Peter Parker, you got something for me?
That's Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
That's Captain Marvel. That's what she's saying to Tom Holland. You got something for me? Tom is single-handedly keeping that Marvel box office at a respectable level in the last 2 years, thanks to No Way Home. Every other one has not been on the level. It just hasn't. And it's nothing to do with the pandemic, Stephen. It simply isn't. In China, it's always been an issue. They restrict the movies. The movies have to be edited down at sometimes.
Yeah.
Can't even say that word. I never can. I don't know what it is about edited. They have to be edited down. There is different versions released there. Maybe something rubs them up the wrong way. So, and you've just got the fact as well that the Chinese audience don't have the historical connection to the comic book stories that we do in the West.
Yeah.
They just don't. And I know for a fact the MCU movies do brilliant in India. They're well received in India. And the theatre audiences absolutely adore them in India. So it's not like it's just an international market problem. But in China, that they are kind of disconnected in that regard. They are a communist country and they don't really acquiesce as well with the West as, say, India or other countries. And that's also a bit of a problem when it comes to films and content and having that connection, that emotional attachment to characters.
John, for Captain Marvel's original film, performed a lot better.
Did it say that though? Was that not the success in North America that I was alluding to?
No, 154 million.
Oh well, then I'm talking fucking nonsense then.
No,
I thought that was North America comparative to China. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. I mean, despite achieving commendable $350 million in North America, only managed 27 million in China. Ant-Man's drop comparative. Ant-Man's a different fucking ballgame, Stephen. It's Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd's loved universally.
When you look at this particular phase in the MCU, it is worrying to the extent that, you can only speak from personal sort of experience. And when we talked about our favourite sort of standalone characters, or smaller characters, if you like, in terms of releases. We both loved the Doctor Strange original film. We both loved the first Ant-Man film. John, have you watched Quantumania yet?
No, I've not.
I've watched half of it and I just gave up on it. I just went, I can't even watch this. I just get no interest in it whatsoever.
I watched the trailers and it was just all CGI and I'm like, they've lost connection with this character. Yeah. That character was never about CGI fest. big blockbuster ensemble sort of stuff. What made Ant-Man so
And Doctor Strange as well.
endearing? Yeah, Doctor Strange to a degree, but he's fucking travelling through
But that
multiple
first movie
universes.
was superb, wasn't it?
It was, Stephen, but it was more grounded.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. The first one was grounded. It was about this brilliant neurosurgeon who loses his way, and it's a sort of self-gratifying journey he goes on to try and get back his hands and get back to his profession in his old life. And then he finds this path of righteousness, if you like, by the end. But it was more grounded, human, and its scale, the story. Ant-Man has always been more grounded and human in scale. Obviously, he's gone even smaller than human scale. He's going down to fucking ant scale.
Yeah.
See what I did there? Dreadful. It's like dreadful.
Pretty neat, huh?
Dreadful batter from me. But jokes aside, Stephen, you go from fucking Endgame into, I think, Ant-Man and the Wasp. The other one, the previous one, Ant-Man and the Wasp, that's what it was called. Yeah. Before they made that the name of the franchise. And you went from universal scale threat down to this guy with a briefcase.
Yeah.
This guy coming up against someone who's coming in out the quantum realm, and a little wisecracking FBI agent who's trying to harass him into staying under house arrest. Very human scale, street level sort of villainry going on in those movies. Then all of a sudden, in the third movie, out of nowhere, bang, he's coming up against a fucking existential threat in Kang the Conqueror.
Yeah.
And he's trapped in this quantum realm. Now, I understand I've not seen the movie, so I may be talking nonsense. You have, though.
I've seen half
But
of
they
it.
do blend it all. You've got Michelle Pfeiffer's Hope Van Dyne. Janet Van Dyne. Hope Van Dyne.
Yeah.
Janet.
Hope's the
Hope's
daughter,
yeah, Evangelina Lilly. You've got Janet Van Dyne and her connection, her journey in the quantum realm. That's the sort of connective tissue to that story. But it just feels like they've rushed it.
Yeah.
They've expanded. They've absolutely thrown Scott Lang into this awkward fish out of water sort of environment in this third movie. It's totally different to the previous two movies.
Yeah.
They've not earned it. And this is what I said the other day. They're just not doing the fundamentals correct. They're not making good singular stories and then worrying about connecting in the post-credits or doing something else. They're just that caught up in making everything work, rushing into the Avengers movies, that they're forgetting what made the Marvel Universe what it was back 10 years ago. It was great, interesting stories, interesting characters that the audience bonded with over a decade. Now we've got all these characters coming in. Monica Rambeau, only seen in WandaVision, pops into this movie. Miss Marvel, own TV show. What about the people who have not seen her or not seen the TV show? Kevin Feige and Marvel don't give a fuck anymore. They just don't. You have to watch it to stay in the loop. If you're not watching it, you're coming into this. The only character that's notable is Carol Danvers.
Yeah.
And look, I don't mind Brie Larson, but she is Marmite. Some people don't like her. So the movie was arguably up against it right from the get-go. One really noteworthy character outside of Nick Fury, and even then the whole secret invasion nonsense, fucking not interesting it. One noteworthy character, and the other two were in TV shows.
Yeah.
So they're just not doing the fundamentals correctly, and this is what is happening when you don't do the fundamentals correctly. You get bit in the arse with it. Now you look there at the performance, 62%. It's not really shifted. The audience are a bit better. But it's not like bygone era where you were getting 90+% ratings, Captain America, Iron Man. You were getting these high rated movies across the board, and the box office was incredible.
Yeah.
$109 million worldwide. Through how many days? When did this come out? 10th of November. It's not bad, is it? It's not horrendous, but it's not Marvel numbers. They'd normally do that in one day. Yeah. It's probably going to get like 400 million or something, 450, if the legs are there. But then you're talking, you're into Christmas. What's coming out in Christmas? Lots of movies. Wonka.
Yeah, exactly.
Lots of movies coming out. So I'm not in a good place, Stephen.
John,
I'm not in a good place.
Obviously, the film dropped for a select few that we watch on YouTube, Jeremy Jans and Christian Harloff, etc. And they all had the same opinion that, you know, I think the chemistry between the three main leads was fine. There was nothing wrong with the chemistry or anything.
I got that in the trailer.
It was just the story. It just wasn't interesting enough. It just kind of didn't know what it wanted to be, you know, to put it mildly. And I think that's, we talked about word of mouth in our last topic, John. It's similar. It's word of mouth. Once people know that there's not a story there, it's going to put them off going. Certainly, if I was interested in this, then I watch those reviews. I don't normally I'm influenced. But when it comes to people like Jans and people like Harloff that know what they're talking about, because they'll give you an honest opinion on every film that they watch. They're not shills like some people claim.
I get called a shill the other day. I laughed at that. A shill.
Yeah. Was this for the Snow White thing?
Am I getting paid money by Disney? Someone wants to tell me then. I look at my bank account. I could be doing with Disney paying me money because I'm not a backward racist. And look, I'll double down on what I says. But there is huge elements out there on the internet and in the world who are incredibly backward in their world views. Incredibly backward. And people coming into your comment section and saying, oh, it's because she hates the character, she hates the film. No, it's because she's of Latino background, ethnicity. Well, she's half Polish as well. If she was Swedish and whiter than white, there wouldn't be any issues. Even if she was coming out criticising the movie, it's because of her ethnicity.
Yeah.
And people don't like it.
John, yeah, exactly. Just listen, we'll get the views on that. It helps the algorithm with them all arguing amongst themselves in the comment section. So keep it going, guys.
They're just having pops at me. I don't give a fuck. Yeah. Water off a duck's back.
Word of mouth though, John, it's important. It does have an effect on a film, whether it's a positive or a negative.
Yeah.
Thor: Love and Thunder, still not seen it. No intention since I seen it.
I did watch it and it was terrible for me. I know Mike, who comes in from time to time, actually liked Thor: Love and Thunder. I wish I could have, because I love the Thor character. I like the Jane character. I love Taika Waititi. But it just didn't work for me. And Christian Bale is
John. I think there is fatigue. I think it's not just, obviously, I was going to say word of mouth is a big part of it. Another thing is fatigue. It is. Mm-hmm. I've not even got around to seeing Loki yet, and I loved
Loki
that first season. Loved it. And I love the character. I love the actor. But I just haven't got the energy to watch it just now.
I was going to ask you, Stephen, when were you last in a theatre to watch a Marvel movie? And I have to crunch the numbers here and find out when Shang-Chi came out and when No Way Home came out.
It would have been No Way Home. December 21.
December 2021. I think I seen Shang-Chi after that, to be fair.
Yeah.
Shang-Chi came out when?
I thought Shang-Chi was before that.
I think it came out after, did it not? No, you're right. It did come out before.
Yeah.
No Way Home. That was the last time I seen a Marvel movie in the theatres. Nearly 2 years.
Since then, we've had Ant-Man, Quantumania, we've had Thor, we've had Guardians of the Galaxy, which I loved Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Yeah, it was very, very good. I regretted not seeing that in the theatres. That was outstanding.
Obviously, the Marvels has just dropped. And then you've got obviously the TV stuff that you were just talking about there. Obviously, Ms. Marvel, etc., which you need to watch to an extent to really.
I've heard Ms. Marvel's decent. To be fair, I have heard it's decent. And
most of the Disney Plus stuff is decent. It is decent, but you're asking your audience to invest a lot of time, week upon week, to find out. Now, I loved WandaVision, but for some reason, the WandaVision iteration of Wanda Maximoff did not work in Doctor Strange 2.
No,
cinematically, it was mental. It was just
it's a character we've been following for years. Yeah. She's a likeable character.
Yeah.
We've followed her through this journey. Now she's playing a villain. So what are we doing here? I don't want to.
And Doctor Strange is a bit part in his own film, you know?
Yeah.
Which is just daft. I just think some of the decisions over the last 2-3 years have been really bad. I think the Eternals.
Mm-hmm. I've not seen
Eternals.
You've
not seen that. I mean, exactly. Shang-Chi you loved. I thought it was okay.
I really did like Shang-Chi.
I thought it wasn't a bad film, John. On my part, I enjoyed watching it, but I just
liked the villain story. Great. I thought it was in the blending of the sort of East Asian culture into the MCU. I thought it was really cool. They spoke about Shang-Chi being like almost like Captain America, Steve Rogers, sort of fish out of water again. I'm using that phrase. Man out of sync with sort of, I don't know, because it didn't really work like that because he wasn't in America in that movie. He was in China. And in some make-believe world he goes there, doesn't he, at the end? I don't actually know where that was. Even now. Was it Under the World? I can't remember. It's been a while since I've seen Shang-Chi, but I did like it a lot.
A few years, yeah.
And the father character was a compelling villain for me. Simu Liu is a very likeable, charismatic guy. We need more characters like that moving forward.
If
more
these
memorable characters
are still performing like this, John, when did they draw a line under the MCU? When did they say we need to stop? We need to, we really need to regroup. We need to
Stephen,
think what is next. Phase 5, Phase 6, Phase 7, Phase 8. Is all these characters are all dying off.
This is the end.
It doesn't make any sense. And I said this back in Phase 2 or 3, John. I said, where's the end game and all this? Because these actors can't do this forever. They'll not want to do it forever.
It's getting to the point, Stephen, I don't even want them to release a Fantastic Four movie in this era. I want them to wait until after the Avengers
and
movies.
The X-Men as well. Yeah.
And X-Men. Cut it clean.
And I think this whole multiverse thing has been a sort of way of trying to get around that issue of we can have another Iron Man, we can have another Thor. You know, when these actors retire, we'll just make them come from a different... People connect with these characters and they don't really want to see within that same world and a continuation, a different actor playing that character you loved. It doesn't work, you know. They're going to do it as shits and giggles with Tom Cruise coming in to play Tony Stark. And I'm like, why? Why do that? It's nothing to do with Tom Cruise, John. I know that, you know, I'm not the biggest fan of Tom Cruise, but I'm just like, what is the fucking point of that? You know, he did it with Patrick Stewart, bringing him in back as Professor X, and I just didn't like it.
Bringing John Krasinski in as Mr. Fantastic.
Just it can annoy the audience when they do that as well. It's not the same as No Way Home. It's just not the way that was handled was great, but you can't keep going back to doing that.
Because they had an actual pointed and tangible impact on a character who we've went through a journey with, i.e. Tom Holland's Peter Parker.
He could only connect and understand what they've been through.
And through that, he's now able to go out and step on his own 2 feet and become a man.
Yeah.
Putting the man in the Spider-Man. Hopefully we get more Tom Holland Spider-Man movies.
Well, this is the whole thing, will we? Yeah.
Well, this is it, Steve. I'm contradicting myself because I'm saying a clean slate, but then you can't continue with Tom Holland. We can over on the Sonyverse.
Yeah, well,
but I don't think it's called superhero fatigue. Because superhero fatigue did not exist 10 years ago, 5 years ago, when they were making outstanding movies again and again and again and again, and it all had meaning, and all of the things connected beautifully, and they were just on their game. Every single level of the Marvel Disney machine was on it. Didn't exist then because we're putting out good content time and again. I just think there's too much content now, Stephen, and it's not of the requisite sort of standard.
Yeah,
plain and simple. Way too much stuff to watch, and you're expecting too much of people.
Well, in a sense, that is fatigue, John. I think that
is. To be fair, I'm contradicting myself.
I don't know, but in terms
it's
of
just
obviously
the main crux is
the genre, I don't think it's fatigue. I think, as you said, it's just too much. It's too much too soon.
I think the biggest issue is the quality and dipping.
Yeah, the
stories are not there, and the characters are not as good. You've lost Steve Rogers, you've lost Tony Stark, you've lost the heartbeat of what made the Marvel Cinematic Universe so good. You've lost Natasha Romanoff.
They never knew how to handle Hulk from the start.
No,
they just didn't know what to do with that character.
So you're left with a huge void.
Yeah,
and no harm to Tony Mackie. I love the guy.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to that Captain America movie. I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do with it. But you've just got a void, man. You need to. You can't lose characters of that caliber and not replace them, or replace them with ones we've seen in TV shows who are of a lower standing. We've not got 10 years to build them up again.
No.
You need to hit the ground running and keep going. That's what winners do.
Do you think perhaps, John, it might have been a good idea after Endgame to just leave it? I know obviously the money side of things, they can't do that because they've got money to make.
But they've made sense, Stephen.
And obviously it would mean you couldn't have actors commit to anything after Endgame either. What would have happened to them? You know, it's really, you know, how can you sort of cut ties with everything after one film? I don't know how they would do it. I don't really know the solution. I don't think they know either. I don't think they know the end game of this franchise, what they're going to do.
I think they just thought it would continue, Steve.
Yeah.
The success, the brilliant content, and it just hasn't. It's dipped.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, and we've seen Bob Iger speaking about it. He's sleepless nights worrying about the flops, not John, flops, but the box office performances.
We're a couple of Joe Blogs on the internet, and we were talking about this 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Where are they going to go with this? How are they going to maintain the quality that they've produced over the first 3 phases? They can't maintain that, surely, because you're dealing with different actors, Stephen. Different characters. Yeah, the casting.
The casting was bang on. Yeah. And I don't want to shit on Jonathan Majors because I don't know the ins and outs of his personal struggles.
And the directors have been fantastic
They
as
weren't
well,
making
John.
mistakes like that.
Every director
Yeah.
that's been in the MCU have been really good. They have been really
And
good.
Neil DeCosta, who's involved in the Marvels, is a good director.
Yeah.
And I respect her for telling a story under 2 hours.
Yeah.
I respect it, and I hope the movie's actually decent.
Yeah.
The audience score does actually suggest it's a not bad movie. But it's just, I don't know, man. They're putting too much content out. And I spoke about it, Stephen, on the show the other day. We've seen this with Star Wars. When 1 or 2 movies don't hit, 1 or 2 TV shows don't hit, the other ones get burnt because of it.
Yeah.
We've seen it with Andor, an incredible Star Wars TV show, some of the best Star Wars content since the original movies in the 70s and 80s. But people weren't watching it initially because they were put off with Book of Boba Fett. They were put off with an underwhelming, maybe Mandalorian Season 3 was after.
Yeah.
But they were put off with the Star Wars content not being of a standard they think.
Well, I think
it
Mando
should
3
be.
had a knock-on effect with Ahsoka. I think a lot of people had reservations with the pacing of Ahsoka as well because of the knock-on effect of Mando 3.
So it comes down to momentum.
Yeah, it does.
When everything's great, the momentum's with you. It's easy.
Yeah.
The minute you hit a roadblock, it's hard to get
They
back on
kept
it.
it simple back then, John. They kept it to 4 major players
Yeah.
in Captain America, Iron Man, Thor and Hulk. And then you had the sort of Hawkeyes and Natasha Romanoff's sort of secondary characters. They didn't have Disney Plus releases. It was just 1 film per year.
Yeah.
Maybe 2.
Then it went to 2,
depending
then it went to
on-
3.
Yeah, and it just became saturated, you know.
That's another thing. Who's going to lead the Avengers? Who's the leader of the Avengers?
John,
It's not going to be
ideally,
Doctor Strange because he's not an Avenger.
No, I think
Is Tom Holland even get a picture deal to play
think-
Spider-Man?
in an ideal world, Kevin Feige and MCU would love to see Brie Larson's Captain Marvel, that person. They would, let's be honest, they would. But it's not going to happen because she's not resonating with the audience, the actor and the character.
Just not
Sadly.
really, it's not that kind of character either, Stephen.
No.
She's not a leader for me. Quite
I
up
don't
herself.
think... I mean,
The character I'm
she's an
talking about-
Academy Award winner, Brie
Yeah, no,
Larson,
I'm
isn't
talking
she?
about- yeah,
in
I'm
terms
talking
of
the character
her
that-
capabilities of acting. But
Yeah.
there's just something I don't think the audience are really connecting with the actor or the character.
I don't know who can lead the Avengers. It's got to be
And-
Spider-Man.
Well, it would have been John if Sony didn't. That just puts more power to Sony, though. That's the issue. If you're relying on Spider-Man to carry a franchise in another studio, Sony will be like, well, we want more money for that.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely. So I don't know what the future entails for Marvel. It's had a right good run. I tend to agree with you, Stephen, that it could have had a bit of a break after Endgame. They took a 2-3 year gap, hiatus if you like, and then come back at it, reinvigorated the content and the story
old
would have
days.
been there.
1977, 1980, and 1983.
Yeah.
Star Wars trilogy.
That's how you do it.
Yeah.
It gives you a chance to tell a coherent story. They had it boy-printed out years in advance. The first sort of Infinity Saga. There was talk of the last 2 Avengers movies, Infinity War and Endgame, being in a sort of rough cut years in advance.
Yeah.
They knew where the characters were going. They knew where the story was going in the main. And they had a sort of assembly cut of it years in advance.
Yeah.
Now it just feels like they're reactionary. They're going all over the place. And they don't really have a clue
Yeah, I
what to
think
do.
they're a bit hung up on how well but Infinity War and Endgame were received, and it's like, how do we top that? You don't have to top it. You just take a step back, regroup, and then come back in a couple of years and tell another story. You know, and do it at a good pace. Don't.
Stephen, what do you do when you've got a character like Thanos as well? Let's be honest, I don't envy them.
No.
I do feel sorry for
It
them.
was the same, John, when the Star Wars prequel trilogy was announced. I was like, you don't have Vader, you don't have the Emperor. How are you going to beat this? You're not going to be able to top this.
And you already
But
know the
somehow
backstory or how it
Palpatine
ends.
returned.
Oh, I know. Oh, you're talking about the sequels?
Somehow, yeah. That's
Yeah, I
what,
thought you meant
know,
the prequels.
No, the prequels are fine,
Yeah.
John. They were all part of that story. They were just the backstory of what we already knew, and it played out okay. The story was fine. It's just dialogue and
Stephen, it's like
direction,
football
etc.
terms. In football terms, it's like Man United after Sir Alex Ferguson leaves. What the fuck do you do?
Yeah.
Where do you go?
So-
And look where Man United are just now. And I'm not even a Man United fan.
No, but you understand. It's
it's
and
an
Arsenal
absolute
as well.
disgrace.
When Arsene Wenger.
Yeah, the stadium
you could
killed
say,
them,
yeah.
Stephen.
Yeah.
But United, man, are just fucking totally unacceptable where that club is just now. this is what it's like.
It's a good
Post
example,
Thanos
yeah.
and post
Good
Captain
comparison.
America and Tony Stark. Where
Yeah.
the fuck do you go? When the leaders, the heartbeat of what made it great, are gone.
Yeah.
Not
John-
even Ferguson, but the sporting director guy was there for years as well.
One
At
guy
Man
that
United.
has stepped away from the MCU for the time being anyway. He's not been killed off or anything like
Oh, he's
that.
Siri, wasn't he?
Yeah, it's Chris Pratt, and that's what we're going to talk about next.
I've not seen this trailer.
And we're talking about the Garfield movie trailer.
Shit.
That's okay. That's fine. But Chris Pratt shines in the Garfield movie trailer. And if we can get the article up.
Yes, I'll bring it up just now, Stephen. There you go.
It's because I don't know. I can't get a connection, obviously, but look at that. I mean, how fantastic.
It's very,
is
very
that?
cool, yes.
Yeah, I mean,
Is this connected to the original
No, this is
Garfield movie,
this
which I
is
loved?
the Bill Murray one.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
That was almost. I want to say it's not live action, is it? Was it live action? It
No,
was
I
almost
think
in that sort of
Paddington
realms.
where it was like a was it? I don't know.
I can't
No,
remember.
I think it was just a straight
You're
animated.
talking 20 years ago, weren't it? 2004 or something.
Yeah, because you had Oliver and Sebastian cats.
Yeah, and Oliver did look like Garfield.
Oliver looked like
Yeah.
Garfield, and that was a running joke back in the day.
Yeah, I've watched the trailer, John. It's a fantastic
And
trailer.
he loved lasagna as well.
Great. Well, that plays into the trailer as well.
He's a likeable character.
It's so funny, John. I used to read the comic
Yeah.
strip in the newspapers as well. Just
Multi-generational character.
5 windows of images and little dialogue, and it was just the facial reactions and just the way it was worded was
Did that
perfect.
appear in a newspaper by any chance? I seem to
I
recall
think it
seeing
was
something.
one of the Sunday newspapers.
Yeah, I used to read them
in
as well,
UK,
yeah.
And then obviously the animated stuff was fantastic as well. And just a cat with attitude. Well, all cats have got attitude, I suppose, haven't they? And this was just highlighted. I think Bill Murray was fantastic playing Garfield as well. And the live, I don't want to say live action, but you know what one I'm talking about, the one from 20 years ago. And I think there was a sequel where he went to London. They always do that in America. Such and such goes to London as the
There's
sequel.
something about London.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In London. Yeah. So that was Joey, by the way. So the recently released trailer for the Garfield movie offers an early glimpse of Chris Pratt's forthcoming animated feature.
It
Pratt
looks fantastic.
takes on the role of the cat in the film, sharing the screen with the co-stars Samuel Jackson, Nicholas Hoult, Brett Goldstein and Hannah Waddingham,
Good cast.
under the direction of Mark Dindal, known for his work
Dindal.
on The Emperor's New Groove. Garfield is set to premiere on 24th of March 2024. The trailer provides an initial insight into the storyline, highlighting Garfield's dynamic with his owner John Arbuckle, and cleverly taps into Garfield's defining characteristics, notably his fondness for lasagna and his influence over John.
I hate Mondays, don't we all?
However, the film has garnered significant attention ahead of its release, largely owing to Pratt's involvement. The actor, facing controversies related to personal and political viewpoints, has drawn considerable criticism within the industry. Pratt's casting as Garfield received backlash due to these controversies, tainting the movie's perception long before its portrayal of the comic strip character was revealed.
Nonsense.
The scrutiny intensifies given Pratt's recent portrayal of Mario in the Super Mario Brothers movie. Despite his commitment to the role, his rendition of the beloved Nintendo character closely resembled his usual speaking voice. The film was commercial success, but did not
that
enhance
made
Pratt's enhancement as a voice actor. The Garfield trailer unveils Pratt's take on the lasagna-loving cat, revealing a voice that notably mirrors his usual speaking style. This insight is likely to provoke strong reactions from the audience, given the glimpse provided in the trailer. I thought it was okay, John. I get what people are saying about the Mario thing, and Chris Pratt as a voice actor, I've not really seen enough of his voice work to really sort of judge him, John. But
With the Mario thing, Stephen, he's not put that. That's a persona.
yeah,
He's not putting on it. It's a me, a Mario.
I don't remember Bob Hoskins talking like that when he played
speak
Mario.
like that all the time. It's
Yeah.
an actual guy. That's the persona. They're like the Mario brothers. They're plumbers. That's part of the brand. When they're not doing the whole brand, the shtick with the company, they speak normal.
Yeah,
What's wrong with that?
no, nothing wrong
Come
with
on.
that at all. And I didn't mind Super Mario Brothers. I thought it was a good film. In
Stephen.
terms of obviously playing Garfield, it's different in the sense that Garfield has a way and he has mannerisms, and it does say that he does mirror his usual speaking style. So I don't know if that the voice that notably mirrors his usual. Are they talking about Pratt here? Are they talking about Garfield? I'm not really sure what they mean by that. Not really sure.
I don't know.
I mean, you can tell it's Chris Pratt, John. There's no doubt about it. I mean, but I could tell it was Bill Murray.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Yeah.
It's just they've got a way.
He can't just become someone else.
No,
He goes his
it's
voice
like
like
asking
that.
Morgan Freeman to be a voice actor. He's not going to change his voice. He's going to be fucking Morgan Freeman, isn't he? Isn't
He can't be anybody else.
I've got to say, I love that lasagna.
I've got to say, my dog's going to get fucking
a
certain appendage parted if he keeps licking that paw. It's so annoying.
But you know what I'm saying? Or Liam Neeson coming in and doing Garfield. I'm going to tell you once, I'm going to eat this lasagna and I'm going to love it. You know?
He was trained in the Jedi arts. Yeah. I've got a particular set of skills which make man like me a nightmare for you.
And Chris Pratt isn't any different, John.
He's not. Stephen, I love Chris Pratt. I love the guy. He's got such a brilliant personality. I do not give one iota. I don't give one iota of fucks, if that makes sense, about his political persuasions, about his sort of religious persuasions. I just don't care.
No.
The guy's entitled to vote for whichever political entity, party, figure.
It's a democracy.
It's a democracy. He can follow whichever religion he wishes to follow.
Yeah.
That's his personal choice. That is what autonomy is all about. We're meant to have free will. We're not controlled by other people. The minute you're controlled by someone else and you have to be led and said and do what they do,
it's a dictatorship.
Then it's a dictatorship. It's tyranny. It's fascism. And it's strangely enough the people on the left side of the political persuasion who I should be getting on with, who are advocating for this fascism. So it's a slippery slope. I don't get this obsession over the guy's political sort of persuasion, his religion. It's irrelevant. He's an actor and he's a very good actor. He's a very funny man. I actually like his voice. I think he did an admirable job as Mario. And I've not seen this trailer yet. I think he'll do an admirable job as Garfield. It's a cat that likes lasagna. This is personal experience for Chris. Chris used to be a fat man. And he's admitted on a regular basis that he loves food. And it takes an enormous amount of willpower. He stopped eating the food. And on his cheat days, he would go across when he was filming Guardians of the Galaxy and eat like a man possessed. So this is a role that I'm sure is close to his heart. He's probably grown up loving Garfield the cat. Yeah. And the actual character and its fondness for food and its quirkiness and its personality almost mirrors him.
I think I mentioned this the other day, John, in terms of Bill Murray and his acceptance in that role back then was because that Bill Murray, as a voice actor, is fine. He's got a very particular way of delivering his lines, but you can tell it's Bill Murray. But the other thing about the Bill Murray casting was that he had, I can't remember the actor's name, but there was a connection between the actor who voiced him in the animated series, also voiced Peter Venkman in the Ghostbuster series, who Bill Murray played. So there was obviously that relationship.
I'm going to find that out. I know what you're talking about. I remember that. 2004. Yeah. Wow.
Well, it was a tale of two kitties, but I think it was set in London, I'm sure it was. Yeah. Jimmy Kimmel was that?
I didn't know that either. What was his name?
Stephen Tobolowsky as well. He was there. Bing!
Yeah. What was the name of that guy? I know what you're talking about, Stephen. I remember speaking about that.
It would be the animated.
Alan Cumming was in there as well. Was it animated?
It would be the animated one, John, that he portrayed Garfield, and obviously Bill did it in the live action. Well, it must have been live action because all these actors were in it. I remember them being in it. Declan Meyer.
Yeah, they were. Yeah,
it was like
a sort of Paddington, like live action hybrid.
Yeah, so
that was a great movie back in the day.
It was fantastic. I had it in DVD, John. I watched it all the time.
It was very, very good. So they've got big shoes to fill, Steve, much like the Hellboy movies. With Ron Perlman, we get David Harbour coming in. Doesn't help. You've got, I think it was Guillermo del Toro did those movies, and Ron Perlman throwing not just grenades but atomic bombs at the movie, willing it to fail, but hurt in the extreme over the fact that they were not involved in it. And of course the movie didn't do so well. I watched the movie, it wasn't great, but when you're getting stabbed in the back by the previous people, you're meant to pass the baton on and wish the next guy well. You're not meant to stab him in the back again and again like a snake in the grass. Then what chance have they got? So you've got big shoes to fill in this case, because they were very funny and very good movies from the back of the day. The ratings may completely contradict what I'm saying. They may be rated terribly. Yeah, it's not. Not good, yes. I was young to be fair.
Yeah.
Hey, I think that's harsh. I liked the movies back in the day. I'm not even going to backtrack at all. I did like them.
I actually didn't like it. I was just kidding.
What is the audience score?
You know, I'm going to surprise you here. I like wine too. It's a total partridge thing it does, isn't it?
Sunday bloody kids on. See, I got a better audience score.
Yeah.
I don't like sequels.
We also like this pile of shite as well.
I did like Chicken Little back in the day. I was a little guy though. I'm pretty sure I was. It'll be like 2010 it came out.
Where's that? Where's that film? The Dwayne Johnson one that you said the other week, yeah?
The Tooth Fairy came out in 2005. Kids and family comedy. I was 16.
Oh, wow.
Fucking never seen Chicken Little. I didn't see it.
When you were a kid?
I'm thinking about
Stuart Little.
Stuart Little, probably thinking about it. Was I'm not the Walsh and Gromit makers? Did they not make a film as well?
Yeah,
it was
Chicken Run or something.
Chicken Run, that was the one I'm thinking about. I don't know why. It's got nothing to do with it. Chicken Run's probably terrible as well. Let's find out what that got. Oh, this is great. Going back and looking retrospectively.
Chicken Run.
What the fuck is this? 2023? Didn't know that was a thing.
Chicken Run 2000. You've been that.
Oh, there you go. I've got taste. I'm redeemed. 97, 65. Get taste. It's great going back and looking at these movies you thought were great when you were younger.
Films.
They are better films. They were all good films, to be fair. The Nightmare Before Christmas. Even now I speak about it a lot.
Yeah.
Especially when I'm tanning taller individuals with legs the size of that character.
Slender Man.
And I'm constantly moaning about the fact that I can't get a pair of jeans to fit me off the rack. I'm like, why? Why the fuck have we got 34-inch inseams on the rack for people? Is everyone 6'4" and 5 out there? I'll tell you, I'll give you a clue. They fucking aren't. No one's like Tim Burton's in The Nightmare Before Christmas. So why the fuck are you selling motherfucking 34-inch jeans in stores off the rack? They can go to big and tall stores. Get the 30-inch inseams in. Come on. But I digress, Stephen. We went off in tangents galore on this show. I was talking about a whole array of things that weren't related to anything, but that's the beauty of it. While I'm looking at this here, I'm seeing there's a space.
Yeah, I've seen that, John. I know what to say. I looked at that side and I looked at that side and I thought,
we're going to get into it.
A gap there.
That's just completely unacceptable. We've got a double space in there. I blame the font. It's nothing to do with me.
The Garfield movie.
Try to think of a Chandler Bing thing now, because that kind of sounded like something Chandler would say. Could I be any more Garfield? The movie? No, it's terrible. Terrible. You can tell I'm not Matthew Perry. Oh, what an end to the show.
Yeah.
What is your thoughts?
Clip that.
Get that clip. That's one for the blooper reel. I need to get a blooper reel.
Yeah.
That's one for the blooper reel. I'll be getting used a lot when I'm doing solo streams. What's your thoughts on the topic?
Especially when Top Cat comes in and comments.
Oh, I know.
Where is he tonight?
Top Cat. Oh, dearie me.
Get his views on Garfield. Does he like him?
I bet he doesn't. Top Cat's a bit of a... he's an LG fan, I tell you that. He's an LG fan. What is your thoughts on Salman Khan's Tiger Free? It's that thing he said. It's linked to LG. I searched it up. I'm like, I was right. It's definitely an LG thing. I'm not saying what it is because it's offensive now, but that is what it is. It was 20 years ago. Fucking sue me. Salman Khan's Tiger Free. What's your thoughts on the box office? It's what was the words I used? It's gearing up for a record-breaking day 2 box office surge. Well, it's a day 3 box office surge. You're talking shite, John. Yeah. Day 3, because day 2 it done 80-90 million.
Yeah, it's happened.
Yeah, 80-90 crore through the first 2 days.
I should have said 2 days rather than day 2, yeah.
Through 3 days it may very well have made a record-breaking singular day take. May have made 85 crore. We'll find out tomorrow, I'd imagine. But what's your thoughts on Tiger?
Solo show.
That's on Wednesday. Well, I'll be able to tell you if it's made a record-breaking profit.
Yeah, that's
I'll
true.
put that in there. What's your thoughts on it though? Have you seen Tiger 3? What do you make of it? Have you helped get it to this 160 odd crore mark through the first 3 days of its release? Share your thoughts down below about the movie, about the box office performance, about Salman Khan trying to topple Shah Rukh Khan. Seems like it's all modern day releases, 2023 releases that are toppling all of these box office records. Seems like it's not just internationally that the movies from the Indian subcontinent are starting to really hit off and make money, but actually in India itself, because these records are all happening in the last 6 months to a year. Interesting. What's your thoughts on that? Share that down below as well. What do you make about the Marvels having an absolute mare, being a bit of a lemon at the box office? Just over 100 million through 3 days. It's not great. What's your thoughts on the MCU in general? Is there superhero movie fatigue? Share your thoughts down below about the Marvels, about superhero movie fatigue, Super Army Soldier. That's what I wanted to say there. Finally, thoughts on Chris Pratt showing Shining and the unveiling of the latest Garfield movie. The trailer for the Garfield movie. Funnily enough, that's the name of it, the Garfield movie. It just seems awkward. It's unnecessary. The Garfield movie. Share your thoughts on it anyway. Down below in the comment section is the place to put your thoughts. Like the video if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon to get notifications straight to your eyeballs. If you've got eyeballs, do the same thing over on Twitch. There may be people who are listening who don't have eyeballs. I'm trying to be inclusive here, Stephen. Yeah. You're laughing. Yeah. Do the same thing in Twitch.
I'll not see me.
That's true. But they'll hear you. Maybe. I don't know. Follow, notifications button on Twitch. Try not to laugh. People with disabilities here. It's absolutely terrible. And follow us and listen to us on Spotify podcasts where you can hear us laughing and not smiling at certain things. It could be the dog that's laughing. Give him a slap, you bad boy.
Yeah, stop laughing, you sick child.
What's left to be said is thank you once again for watching us. And until the next time, I've just gave my dog a sort of reverse uppercut. Bye-bye.